Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of our AEW Dynamite review and the Rampage ramp up. My name is Carly, and you can find me on Twitter at CarlyB88, and I'm here with Connor as always. You can find him at AEW Fanguy 18. I got it right this time, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yep. And we're with the All Elite Zone podcast at on Twitter. You can find us at All Elite Zone 1. Give us a like and follow, subscribe on YouTube and all of that fun stuff. We're also on Twitch and Spotify. Last night's Dynamite was held in Atlanta, Georgia. It was week 2 of Fyter Fest. Starting off the night was our first match, Brody King versus Darby Allin in a grudge match. That what a match. Yeah, that was
The,
basically just Darby Allin getting tossed around like a rag doll for a solid 10 minutes. What do you think,
okay.
Connor?
You can hear me all right. Can
Yeah, I
you?
can hear
Um, I thought the match was good. The finish, well, Darby Allin went outside the ring. Um, he kind of put him in the same move he did in the Rampage Royal, and I thought that
you.
was going to be it once he uh, not put the sleeper hold on him, but it wasn't it. Darby put up a good fight, but he barely had any offense. Brody just dominated the whole match. I felt like, but it was a definitely good match, and they're still continuing the story because, well, as you guys know, Miro got sprayed with that black mist at
I,
Forbidden
I like how
Door.
he came out with the shades on.
Yeah, it's the same as Julia Hart did a little bit with the
Impact.
eye patch. So is he? Well, is Sting going to join the House of Black now because he got sprayed last night? So
Yes, he did. Yeah, that was a match. I think Darby did the best he could with what he had. All 170 pounds of him soaking wet against Brody King, and all his strength and weight that he had on him and height. Um, Oh God, some of those chops that he was delivering to Darby Allin, I saw Darby's soul heading all the way back to Seattle from whence he came. Those sentons are huge from Brody King. Darby just didn't really stand a chance one on one in the ring, and when he held him in that sleeper hold, just like he said like he did at the Rampage um,
Rampage Royal.
Royale, the Rumble that they had. I thought there was going to be that count out. I really thought it was going to end in
Yeah.
count out, which I can't recall a time I've seen one in AEW, at least recently. Um, but Darby was able to squeak back into the ring only to get just demolished. I can't remember exactly what that spot was, that move that Brody King did. I actually just watched it about 20 minutes ago just to kind of recap what had happened. But I was thinking, I'm like, it looks like when my 6-year-old wrestles his stuffed animals, like just complete ragdoll Darby.
Yeah.
Um, but then we did see Sting come out. I really like what's happening with the House of Black and Darby and Sting, the dudes with attitudes. Um, there's nothing better than, two emo guys in face paint, just staring each other down. It was great. I really like where this is going. Sting got the black mist. We'll see how he goes with that. Miro held up well. He came out with the sunglasses on. After all of the fights Darby and Miro had, seeing Miro come out to Darby's aid, I think he wants to redeem Malachi. I like that story arc that's happening. I'm excited to see where this goes. I gave the match. I wasn't sure how to rate it, just because it was mostly Darby getting beat up upon. But as far as story, style, what the House of Black does, Sting, the whole shebang, I give it all a 7, 8 out of 10, somewhere in there
Yeah, that's what I was going to give it 7, 8 out of 10.
as a whole.
Darby got a few offense at the end, but
Yeah, yeah.
but
He
still,
had a Suicida in there. He does his coming out of nowhere. He did rally. Um, oh, he had a move there where he grabbed his belt and like
yeah, yeah,
took Brody King out by the feet, and then came through the ropes with his crazy suicida that always gives me heart palpitations because he just does it without abandon. And ooh, don't know how long he can keep doing those for, but they're always exciting to watch.
yeah. he might be the next Jeff Hardy. Well, not in terms of
Yeah,
personal side,
soul aspect.
but in ring style.
For sure. I can see that.
But for like a lot of people said, AEW just has matches, no stories in the match. This match had a story all into it. It
Man,
even
there were
like
stories all night.
like they're portrayed like they're going back to Forbidden Door, which was last month, and we haven't seen Miro
Yeah.
since he got sprayed with that face paint. I mean, the mist.
Don't. It was a whole night of storytelling. I thought we'll keep going. We'll keep going. Match 2 of the night. Speaking of storytelling, was the best friends. Trent,
Yeah.
Loretta, and Chuck Taylor versus Wheeler Yuta and Jon Moxley. And as we remember, Wheeler Yuta used to be a member of the Best Friends until Trent said he didn't like him, and Yuta decided to go kick racks and team up with the Blackpool Combat Club before, he kind of had to get his ass kicked for a little bit before he earned their respect. But yeah, I thought this was a good match too. There was a lot going on in this match.
Yeah.
It started off a little slowish, but it really picked up at the end. There were some great spots and moves in there. There was one part where Wheeler Yuta got 2 pile drivers, like one right after the other, and still kicked out.
They
There
threw him
was
against the
one
guardrail.
where Chuck T delivered a pile driver in the corner to Jon Moxley. That was just wild. I thought it was a good match. I thought it really, really picked up at the end. Yuta and Mox ended up winning, but overall, I thought it was fast paced towards the end. I thought best friends. I thought Trent and Chucky T looked great. I thought it was. I gave it an 8 out of 10.
That was the best match in my opinion last night.
I was thinking of you. I was like, I know Connor's liking this. I know Connor likes getting Chuck Taylor out there
because this was actually the first time that Wheeler Yuta and Trent actually was in a match together since he broke up from Best Friends.
Yep.
And then Trent and Chuck Taylor, they threw Wheeler Yuta across the guardrail twice, and Moxley comes up with a chair and just slams it, and then it's just real intense. I like those kind of storytelling. I was wanting Best Friends to win, but I knew they probably weren't. But I'm just gonna see Chuck Taylor back. But that was my favorite match of last night. I give it 8. No, I'll give it a 9 out of 10.
It was also the first time that Wheeler Yuta and Mox teamed up as a tag team as well, so I liked seeing them together. Regal's always funny on commentary. I like him up there with Taz.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a good way to keep the momentum going of the night. Sometimes I feel like the second match can kind of drop off on Dynamite, but I thought this was a good way to keep momentum going, especially with the excitement of the Barbed Wire Everywhere match at the end of the night. There was a little break in the middle where Tony Schiavone talked to Keith Lee and Swerve about the tag team championship match. I just mentioned this because there was a cake, and I love it when cakes come out because I always know it's going to end up in somebody's face. And it did in Mark Sterling's, which I'm pretty sure the last time there was a cake out, it ended up in Mark Sterling's face. But this one was really good because Swerve just it's one of the better cake smashes that I've seen.
Yeah, once he came out, I knew it was going to be him.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
No one can enjoy cake out in the wrestling ring.
I swear, if somebody actually gets a piece and eats it before it ends up in somebody's face, I don't know. I'll sing live on the podcast. That's what'll happen.
They need to have a spare of.
And I'll let Connor pick the song.
They need to have a whole another spare cake for catering.
Yeah.
Because who was it last time? Was it Nyla Rose? No, she got. I believe Nyla Rose got.
I remember there was a cake because Sheeta had her 50th win, but somehow I feel like that still ended up in Mark Sterling's face. Probably because Jade had a cake, but that ended up in Mark Sterling's face. I don't know. Every time there's a cake, it ends up in somebody's face, and I don't get tired of it ever. I'm not really sure what happened with that. I don't know. Tony Nese something, if there was advancement in the story. I was just excited about the cake.
Yeah,
in the words of Nyla Rose, I like cake and violence.
I think that Sean Spears and Tony Nese would be a good tag team. I've been thinking about that a lot recently. I mean, you could drop Mark Sterling from them, but the chairman and I just feel like that would be a good tag team because his heel persona kind of matches it with Shawn Spears in a way.
Mm.
If you watch his promos, um, yeah,
I feel like
I
I
don't
feel
know
like in
where
order for
the
that to work, you would have to drop Mark Sterling. I feel like in a way Tony needs Mark or somebody,
I
but
believe
Shawn
Shawn
Spears
Spears.
doesn't. I feel like Shawn Spears would be fine on his own. He has enough personality and enough like of his own personality to be fine by himself. I don't think Tony Nese is really like kind of mean, but like interesting enough on his own to really. He needs somebody with him.
Yeah, I just since MJF's gone, he's kind of lost in the shuffle right now. Shawn Spears, I haven't seen him since the cage
Yeah,
match,
yeah,
so
that really sucks. That's unfortunate.
yeah.
I don't know. You got to tweet. You got to tweet Tony Khan. Tell him to do something.
I tried with Brian Cage, it's not working.
It's not
Well,
working.
it worked for yeah. I did go back and see Rampage, and he was there.
I told you he was
Yeah,
there. I told
yeah.
you. Free
Because
smoke.
a lot of my friends were texting me about it, and then I had to go back and watch it. So he was there
You
last
weren't
night too.
lying. You weren't lying. Third match of the night was Christian Cage and Luchasaurus versus the Varsity Blondes. I always enjoy the Varsity Blondes. I really enjoyed Luchasaurus or like Dino Kane as like he just is just dinosaur Kane in my eyes. It's just the music, the fire, the arms up. It's very Kane-esque to me. It was a quickish match. The winners were I don't even know what I wrote.
It was
Yeah,
Christian.
it was Christian. Oh, Christian didn't even wrestle. He didn't do
Yeah,
anything. That's what it
like
was.
the only thing he did,
I was
like
thinking about it, how we hadn't seen him wrestle in so long.
he
I
was
was
in
like,
the
oh, we're
ring,
gonna see
but
Christian wrestle, and he didn't.
like the only thing he did was tag himself in and get the pin. That was it.
Yeah, no, he did wrestle, and I was expecting that. And the match was there. Just poor Varsity Blondes, they just lose. They have a lot. They have talent. I like Brian Pillman Jr. I had a chance to see him wrestle at an indie show, and he's really great. But yeah, so really, I think the match was there to push the story along. We saw the return of Jungle Boy. Very exciting
Yeah.
stuff. Crowd went wild. You saw Luchasaurus turn face, turn about.
I knew he was playing him the whole time. I
Yeah,
said it from the beginning. He was.
I mean, kind of sad because I liked Dino Kane. Dark Luchasaurus. That was pretty fun. We only got it for a couple weeks.
I hope he keeps that kind of ring gear and that like if he does singles matches, he keeps that.
Yeah, bring it back like Penta Oscuro. Like I like it.
Hey, Penta versus Luchasaurus would be good.
Use it as like a threat. Like don't make me bring back bad Luchasaurus. And we saw Christian Cage escape in classic heel manner, running through the crowd like a coward. Very MJF-esque. I don't think he's quite.
He's trying to get there. That's what I feel like he's trying to do. He's trying to get the MJF level heat, but he's never going to get it because
I don't think anybody can.
You're not MJF. You'll never be MJF because he's
No
better
one
than you, and you know it.
It's so true. It's so true.
I mean, you can go with the heavy promos, the personal promos, throwing shade at each other, shade at people, but you're never going to get to MJF's level.
You're not, because you have to make it personal for you too, and that's what MJF did. That was so well is that
him and CM Punk was
personal about himself. He shared his personal. They mixed so much of truth, and we all just sat there for so long asking ourselves, "Is it a work?" Like every week, MJF was just masterful at it, and no matter how shocking Christian Cage is, he just can't quite. I mean, it's good.
Yeah, it's good, but that's what the first week he cut a promo, he was basically trying to like MJF when he mentioned what was it? It was something that MJF said in his last promo that Christian Cage kind of took from. I forget what that was, but
Well, he stole some of like the Brian Pillman stuff, you
Yeah, like
know.
that kind of stuff. Yeah, that he pickpocketed from MJF, and
It just it was one stuff we had already heard before, and two just not delivered quite as. I mean, even though like MJF said terrible things, he also said them in a funny way. Like Mid was funny and Mid stuck, and we all kept saying Mid for so long, even at like he had this way of just being great at it, and talking about him like he's dead. He'll come back eventually. In
he'll
any
come.
case, we did see Jungle Boy come back. Is he still injured though?
Thought he was.
I thought so too. I don't know.
There's a rumor I have. Well, I guess it's a rumor. I'll save that. It kind of pertains to that.
Ooh, save it for the rumor mill. We'll get to that a little bit later, so keep watching. Fourth match of the night was Ricky Starks versus somebody named Cole Carter. This whole match is just me with question marks all over my notes. Cole Carter's AEW debut for the FTW Championship belt. I love Taz on commentary giving a little like rundown history about all the title holders of the FTW belt. Winner was of course Ricky. Who knows who Cole Carter is? He looked kind of just very generic. Like
I believe he was in NXT. He got killed off. Like he literally got killed off on TV, and he was at Dark for a few tapings. I don't have a clue who he is. I thought it was a waste of TV time, but no, because Danhausen came out. Like that's what saved it at the end. That's what saved it. Like that's gonna be a fun match next week. Danhausen and Ricky Starks. Hey, you're gonna be there for that one, right?
I will. I'm going to be there next week. It was like the first match announced for next week, so I was just like, yes, finally a match. Because I've just been trying to like glean what might happen next week and what I might see. So at least I know I get to see Ricky Starks wrestle, which you know how much I love Ricky Starks. Yeah. So I might make a sign for that. Keep an eye out for me on the camera with a Ricky Starks sign. Ricky Starks and Danhausen both have such great character personalities and such great mic skills that just even like their little minor interaction at the end I thought was funny and fun. So I don't know. Maybe Ricky will drop it to Danhausen and hilarity will ensue. We'll see. We did hear a little bit of talking from FTR about their match with the Briscoes at Saturday's Death Before Dishonor. I'm gonna have to watch that. There's just a lot of matches. It's gonna be good.
I really like this promo.
What's that?
I really like. Well, it's FTR, but Dax Harwood's promo. I really liked his promo.
Yeah, Dax Harwood is
it really wasn't a promo. It was real life.
It was just he's a treasure. I mean, literally, just I love them. They're both the nicest guys like ever. Just super fabulous. I love that they're family guys. I love what they stand for. Give them all the belts. They already have most of them. So it'll be, I can't wait till they win the titles. I think it'll just be huge. The fans, like the crowd will go absolutely bonkers. What do we see for the fifth match of the night? It was Jade Cargill and Kiera Hogan versus Athena and Willow. What's your take?
This match was supposed to be a 6-woman. Well, I found out like the intern.
Wait, was it supposed to be against 6 women? Because that's what I thought.
Yeah, the one that joined Jade and them, Leela Gray.
Yeah, Leila Gray.
Yeah, she's the interim member of the Baddies until
Red Velvet temporary baddie.
Well, the interim is injured, so they need an interim for the interim replacement. But yeah, it's supposed to be a 6 women with.
I thought Statlander was supposed to be in it.
Yeah, Statlander. Like once she got injured, they submitted a tag team match basically.
Oh, who got injured?
Leela Gray.
Oh.
So that's why they need a interim for the interim. Like they've only got one interim member, so they need an interim for the interim replacement.
So what you're saying is my baddie application might be considered at this point.
Yeah, they probably got a full list of interims that could. I don't know why they just didn't make an official member, but anyways, I thought the match was pretty good. Got Athena got more TV time.
He is so good.
Willow did very good too. They kind of like they're a good tag team, but I like Athena and Statlander a little bit better.
Mm.
But it was just great to see Athena get more TV time because this is her second time. Well, in of course promos and stuff, but in ring, it's like her second, third time. But I thought the match was pretty decent. Jade Cargill did pretty good in this match. There wasn't no any major mistakes or anything like that. Now Marina, it's a whole other story, but I thought Jade did
We got to make it through one without talking about Marina.
But Jade did very good. I'll say I'll give it a 7 out of 8.
I thought it was a good match. I really enjoyed it. I think Athena is just like amazing. I think she needs to soar high. I think she's going to be the one to eventually defeat Jade. I think, Jade can't hold on to the belt forever. But she looks so good doing it. I thought Kiera Hogan looked good. I think she's really improving along the way. I know they both, before Danielson got injured, both Jade and Kiera had been training, taking advantage of that time that, Bryan Danielson uses to before Dynamite to train and mentor other wrestlers, and that shows. I think Willow Nightingale is just a great character. I really love like her happy, positive vibes. She looks good in the ring. She moves well and helps keep the flow of the match going. I'd like to see more of her, and I definitely think Athena deserves way more TV time than she's getting. She's so powerful. She countered some of those moves that Jade classically does that just like stomps the match and puts it to an end, which is really building the storytelling through the matches, which is, you see a lot in the men's matches, but the women's matches kind of build match upon match, and you're seeing a lot of the storytelling through the wrestling with Athena and Jade, and I find that really exciting. I thought it was a good match. I gave it an 8 out of 10. Winner was Jade and Kiera, and I was secretly hoping, you hope like Athena and Willow's going to win, even though they're not. But yeah, I gave it an 8 out of 10. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, it's better than. I'm not going to say it. It was a very good match.
I think it's building for what we're going to be seeing in the future. Should there be a women's tag team belts, which I think is definitely maybe going to be a thing.
I just need to wait for Allie and the bunny. I'll call her Allie. Like that's a wrestling name I know. Her and Penelope to get back. Then they'll be set. I feel like.
Yeah.
Because you already got Statlander, the baddies. Where you need Red Velvet. I'll say by the end of this year they could have them. Like they could crown them at Full Gear probably in November.
Yeah, they're definitely sowing the seeds there. So,
but I do hope. It'll be good to see like next week on Fight for the Fallen, Jade versus Athena for the TBS Women's Championship.
Do you think they're going to do that?
If they're going to put on Statlander, I think they'll do that first.
I think they should do that. I would like to see that.
Because if Jade wins, then Statlander's next.
But we are going to see, who is it? It's Thunder Rosa and it's a Japanese wrestler. I can't remember her name.
That might be next Wednesday.
That is next. They announced that next Wednesday for the AEW Women's Championship.
Yeah.
So that'll be really cool because I know Thunder Rosa has fought her before, I believe in Japan or somewhere else or in the United States, but not on AEW. So that'll be exciting. All right. Last match of the night, the one everybody was waiting for, was the barbed wire everywhere death match between Eddie Kingston and the Painmaker, Chris Jericho, with the Jericho Appreciation Society suspended above the ring in a shark cage, controlled by Ruby Soho at ringside with a broken arm. This was everything I pretty much expected it to be. The barbed wire was, for all intents and purposes, pretty much everywhere. We saw it around the ring. There was this nice little grid outside the ring of barbed wire. There were tables covered in barbed wire. There were chairs covered in barbed wire. What was it? The bell, the microphone, which Eddie Kingston
Yeah.
utilized pretty much immediately to split open Chris Jericho with. Chris Jericho came out with a back covered in barbed wire. I think if you are going to call it a death match, I was like, death match. There's no light tubes.
Yeah.
For anybody who's ever seen Nick Gage in GCW and all those death matches, and that's a death match. This was a barbed wire match. It was a barbed wire match. They fought. They landed in some barbed wire. I think
Jericho got the worst of it.
Jericho got the worst of it. Man, Eddie came in hard right from the beginning. It just.
I don't think Jericho would have won if it wasn't. Well, if you want to say the ending.
So, we saw Eddie Kingston coming hard from the beginning. He definitely tossed Jericho around into the barbed wire quite a bit. We saw Jericho split open first. I don't know that Eddie Kingston really got split open bad, but he did get quite a bit of injury to his arms. He landed on his back a few times. Everybody was pretty much bleeding by the end. There was definitely some spots into the tables. The big moment in the match was when Ty Conti came down to start messing with Ruby Soho, and then to try and get the control for the shark cage. And then we saw Anna Jay presumably coming to help Ruby Soho, but we saw the Anna Jay heel turn. She went to help Ty Conti beat the crap out of Ruby Soho. They brought the cage down. JAS came out
at first,
and then
Ty couldn't get the thing open.
Oh God!
I was saying like it was something that they had the wrong key or something. So a lot of them squeezed through, but Hager couldn't squeeze.
And there's someone squeezing through, like I said.
Like everyone was trying to squeeze through, but Hager couldn't do that. And
who couldn't?
Hager couldn't squeeze through.
No.
It was Hager and one of the members of 2.0, like they couldn't squeeze through because they're so. Especially Hager, he's 7 foot tall. He couldn't squeeze through there.
You can't teach that.
But eventually they got it open, I think.
Yeah, I think eventually they cut it open. Oh gosh, what a mess. And then we saw, I think everybody else, some Blackpool Combat Club friends came down. Yeah. Chaos ensued. I wasn't really sure what to make of all of it. Jericho ended up winning, of course, because he had the help from the Jericho Appreciation Society. They laid into Kingston. And he kind of had the final word at the end where he chucked Jericho into the grid of the barbed wire, the barbed wire spider web, if you will. And the camera panned out to Jericho, writhing and screaming in pain as the painmaker, bleeding from his face. Jericho did end up with a broken nose at the end. I did see that on Twitter.
I was about to say that. I see where he had a broken nose.
So he did come out worse for the wear.
I feel like Eddie Kingston won the war. He didn't win the match, but I feel like he won. He wanted to taste his blood, so I think he got that.
I don't know how I feel about how this match ended. I didn't really know how I felt at the end. I think Eddie has just been after Jericho for so long. I remember when all of this started, when Eddie had them. And I mean, I just feel like Jericho's been making Eddie Kingston look like a fool this whole time. He didn't shake his hand when Eddie won. Eddie's just been getting the shit end of the stick, losing these matches. Like, he only really beat Jericho in that match in the beginning when Jericho was supposed to shake his hand after, and it's just been like these grudge matches ever since, and Jericho's just won by cheating, and I don't know if this is the end, it all feels a little loose to me. You know what I mean?
I feel Eddie Kingston hasn't really had any momentum besides Revolution when he beat Jericho. I mean, of course, in the Blood and Guts match, he had him up there, but he didn't get the win.
And he didn't get the win. And then I thought it might be a thing with Cesaro or Claudio or whatever his name is, which I thought that was stupid. I'm like, why did you let Claudio win? Like, just give Eddie his moment. When does Eddie get his moment? Because I don't know. I don't know what's going on with this story. I don't know. I feel very unresolved with how it all kind of wrapped up. And I don't know if it's wrapped up. And if they do keep it going, it's like, how long is it going to go on for? It's like, we get it. We
Yeah,
get it.
there's nothing really to do at this point. Let's have another match and Eddie win. I mean,
It's like,
all you
okay
can
then,
do.
but like Jericho's already beat him so many times. Like how much more can he prove? Like what we did blood and guts. We did barbed wire. Like what other matches are there to do
I could
at this
do blood and
point?
guts with 3 rings. I'll be over
And
the top
covered
though.
in barbed wire.
I'll be over the top.
And the
That would be
light tubes. Where are the light tubes? Like I don't know. I don't know what else there is to do. And pizza cutters, and I throw Nick Gage in there just as like a, you know, just as another variable. Like I don't know what other like. So this kind of has to be the end of it. And if it is, Jericho wins. And
Yep.
then what does JAS do? Because I feel like they were just there to egg Eddie on. So I guess Eddie kind of won in the end, but I would have liked it better if he'd actually just won and been like, haha, Jericho, I won. So I don't know. That's just my opinion. But overall, it was a good barbed wire match. Maybe something could have exploded, or there should have been tax.
Yeah, I was surprised there wasn't tax like that. We were saying that last night. Normally, these type of matches are always tax.
Or maybe we're just spoiled.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how like hardcore like wrestling fans were supposed to be, like how much we're supposed to expect like these wrestlers to, you know, especially with the age that Eddie and Jericho are at. It's like, how bad do we really expect them to hurt themselves in the course of this match? I think they really put themselves through like the amount that I would have expected them to put themselves through for this type of match. So overall, it was good. I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
I would give it a 7 out of 10 probably. They're always doing these type of matches in AEW, and it kind of gets old after a while. Like it does. Like I like these type of matches, but I mean, how much can you see of blood and then thumbtack? Well, they didn't do text, but barbed wire. And I wish they would do it like every so not all. How do I say like not all together, like blood all the time. I wish they make it special, like when it happens.
I think on the heels of just having had blood and guts, like it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, it was like 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah, with the same people.
Yeah.
You know, we've just seen them kind of tear themselves up. So it's like.
But I will take this match over any WWE match.
Oh yeah.
In WWE, like that's like a punishment for doing something like that. Like you can't do that in WWE. And that's one thing that got me stale with WWE is like you never see that stuff anymore. Like if you see it, it'll be like once every little moment. Once if you see it, you'll never see it again for another 8 years. But I give it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I thought the match itself was good, and not good, not great. It was good. It was where my expectations, like what I expected it to be. You know, I didn't expect Jericho and Eddie, who are getting a little bit older and move that the way they do, to really go super hard. You know what I mean?
I'm surprised
What's that?
I was gonna say I'm surprised Jericho still to do these type of matches. He's done a lot in AEW, like these type of matches with Nick Gage.
Oh, that Nick Gage match.
He's done a lot of these matches in AEW. He's never done before anywhere else, really.
Yeah. For me, it's when the story ends up weird. Like, I don't know what's going to happen with Anna Jay and Ty Conti and JAS and Eddie, and kind of where it branches off from here. So I don't know. I'll put my faith in Tony Khan that he, doesn't really disappoint. We didn't know what was going to happen with Jericho after everything. And then they made JAS, and I thought JAS was great and hilarious. So we'll see where everything goes. I still feel a little unresolved, but overall, I thought it was a very good Dynamite. I thought that the Shark Cage was kind of genius for Shark Week. So it was a good Dynamite overall.
Yeah.
The worst
Yeah.
Dynamite is still always better than the best Raw.
Yeah. Even if it's a bad episode, how bad can you get? Because it's still good. Like,
It's always good.
yeah.
You won't catch me fast forwarding through a match, you know, or like
No.
even the matches that I think I'm like, oh, this is kind of boring. It's still good. It's still good wrestling. It's still better than any match that more exciting any match than I'll see in, you know, other promotions. Better
Yeah.
than, you know, the biggest move being a frog splash or an elbow drop, you know. And as always, to anybody watching, you know, these opinions are made. They're our opinions. We're not wrestlers, you know. We understand that wrestlers put their bodies on the line for our entertainment. So please take everything we say with a grain of salt. Don't come at us either on Twitter or like be weird stalkers. That's gross.
Yeah.
What do you have? Oh, wait, it's we do Rampage next.
Yeah. I got the Rampage matches a few.
I know there's a tag match with Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter.
Yeah, they're in action.
Is that just it in action?
Yeah. I'm getting another women's squash match on Rampage. I could have put someone else to make it at least a 10, 15-minute match for the women, because the last 4 weeks have been, it was Marina. Well, no, it was Serena and Mercedes in action.
Against some like
Yeah.
randos.
Yeah, like 2 weeks in a row. And then last week it was someone else in action.
Yeah,
Now we're
whenever
getting,
it's in action, it's just
and now we're
oh
getting
yeah,
Britt.
it was
Now we're getting Britt and Jamie in action.
in action.
There's something else I could do. I could book something better than that. I would.
I don't know. I don't know
But
what that is.
well, the other matches are Lee Moriarty versus Dante Martin, which is previously announced last Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Blade and Butcher versus Hangman and Silver, and
Oh god, that little segment was so funny.
yeah. When they said Butch,
With the
like
Butch shirt.
like they were trying to point it towards Butcher, but that did not where it went. That went to straight shades at WWE.
Oh, it was so funny. I was dying.
Then this could be the main event, but I think it's going to be the opening match. Jonathan Gresham versus Christopher Daniels. That should be a good match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and hopefully they announce more matches for Ring of Honor.
Oh, is there the rap battle? The rap battle?
Yeah, I forgot that between Austin and Max Caster.
That's great. I'm here for it. I'm totally here for the rap battle. And wherever that storyline goes. I love the Acclaimed.
Yeah.
All right. The rumor roundup. The only one I have is the one that everybody knows about Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
Yep. That he's feeling better. It might come back.
I've got kind of that same thing. Well, CM Punk and Kenny Omega are supposed to be wrestling at All Out. Well, that's a rumor, but it could be real, could be, I don't know, but that's a rumor that they're going to be wrestling at All Out. If they are, CM Punk will come back any week now to set up for him and Moxley.
Well, CM Punk will have to get the belt back from Jon Moxley.
He always got the belt. Moxley's interim. So technically,
so he'll just have to. So Moxley will just give it back. He doesn't have to fight for it.
Well, if Moxley wins, and he's officially the champion. If CM Punk wins, and he's still champion, I guess. I hate the interim concept.
I hate the interim.
It's so confusing. It's so confusing.
Interim.
They're copying UFC.
It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Well, if Kenny Omega, he is not cleared. He is far from being cleared. He's going to push it. I feel like he is going. I feel like he wants to have all these dream matches, and he's afraid if he doesn't do them now, he's never going to get the chance to do them.
I feel like if CM Punk beat Kenny Omega, I would be angry.
I don't know who would win that match.
It should be Kenny Omega.
That's like I don't know who would win. Like that's
no. It should be Kenny Omega.
But Kenny Omega, like realistically, he's not. He can't. He really shouldn't come back till next year. But he's going to push it, and if he does, I feel like he'll be retired by next year. But that's just a rumor. Like AEW hasn't confirmed it, nor Kenny Omega has confirmed that.
I know. It's just the rumor that I heard that Kenny Omega's feeling better and will come back soon. And that's all I heard was like, he'll be back soon. I'm
As
like,
long as
what?
he's feeling better, that's the main thing. Because
Like, what is soon? Like
so,
the summer? Like I heard they were like rearranging summer plans for Kenny Omega. Like,
but I have a feeling that CM Punk is true that he'll be back, and because he just had a broken foot. Like he was out in June, July, August. He should be back for September for All Out. Even if it's not All Out, it could be Moxley and CM Punk at Dynamite Grand Slam.
that would be good
for 20,000 people. It's either going to be those two. Yeah, that's all I really got.
That's all I really have too. I don't know much else. I don't really scroll Twitter too much.
Yeah, there's not really, besides that, there's not really anything. I mean, the Briscoes are signed the Ring of Honor.
What's that?
The Briscoes are officially signed the Ring of Honor. That's not really a rumor, but it's official.
It's something.
Yeah.
Something I didn't know until you just told me.
Yeah, Tony Khan
didn't know that.
Yeah, he was on some kind of radio thing today, and he confirmed that they're signed to a long-term deal, but cannot appear on AEW.
Oh, they can't?
Warner Media doesn't want. Here's the funny thing: like they're going to be on that pay-per-view, but Warner Media owns Bleacher Report, and they're going to be on Warner Media stuff. So hopefully, they can get that resolved pretty soon. That they can be on AEW. It's something that one of them said 15 years ago. It's like 1998, and he apologized for it in 2004, and then it got brought back somehow.
Oh, geez. Well, the internet's a crazy place, folks.
Yeah, that's why I get in trouble for it a lot, and it's always me. So most of the time, but here lately I haven't been on. Well, I've been on social media, but not starting any arguments.
Yeah, I try to I only have 42 followers on Twitter, so I don't know how anybody else gets in trouble. Nobody follows me on Twitter.
See, so, all I do is voice my opinion on something, then I get loads of it's life or death over just one comment.
I don't really say much on Twitter. I don't really have much to say. Except Vincent McMahon is a scumbag. But I think people pretty much agree with that. But when I do say it, I only have 42 people to say it to, so nobody really argues with me. So.
Oh, that's not even up for debate. He is.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always that person. I'll say
we always knew he was a scumbag, but then I think this whole thing just kind of put a dollar sign on it.
This has been going on for years. They said someone from 15 years ago this happened too. So this is going on for a long time.
I can't wait till that company goes under. It never will because it's WWE and people like it for some reason. But
Vince technically he doesn't get to make any. He makes decisions, but he has a board over WWE. So they can really just boot him out if they wanted to.
They really should because the stories suck.
I don't know if they get better if Vince is gone either because I got Nick Khan. He's the biggest problem out of it. He's the one that released everyone, or that did all that.
Well, I don't know if I'm going to do the review next week because I'm going to Dynamite.
Yep.
And I'm going to get home very, very late, and then I have to work the next day. And I don't know if I'm going to take notes. And I don't know if I'm going to get confused with what happened on Dynamite and what happens at Rampage. And I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah. But I can always take over and have someone do it for next week.
But I will try. In any case, we'll be back tomorrow for the Rampage live reaction. That's always fun. We laughed a lot last week. That was pretty funny. Yeah. That was a good one with Mr. Jacobs. Remember when we discovered Orange Cassidy as the ant and then his costume switch?
Yeah.
Yep. So join us tomorrow for that. It's pretty silly. And we will be back. Do your thing. Like us and follow and subscribe and Twitter and Twitch and YouTube and Spotify. And is that all of them?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for joining us.